And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Air Podcast, regular edition, man. It's Wednesday. We got Donovan Sharpe in our house. We're going to be talking about the top 10 phrases that women use to manipulate you. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right, we're back. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Air Podcast, man, regular edition. We are live. We're here with Donovan Sharpe in the house. We're going to be talking about Womanese, guys. We're going to be talking about how to decode it, man. And we're running a flash sale for you guys as well with the course. Get a good discount on it, $100 off. Code is down below. But, you know, before we get into that, we want to give you guys a bunch of free value with the importance of understanding this stuff. But yeah, I think it's time to announce our special guest of honor. Donovan, welcome to the show, man. Remotely, I know you had to get back to Nevada.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I had to hop a plane and get back to Reno. Had some business to take care of. But I remember you and I after the first Fresh and Fit a couple nights ago. We sat down and we said, hey, you know what? Let's do another Womanese type video tutorial, because I remember a long time ago we did. I think it was like maybe 3, 4, possibly even 5 years ago, and it's been a while. And of course, Womanese obviously gets confirmed day after day, night after night on the Fresh and Fit podcast. And I think a lot of your viewers will find a lot of value in what we're going to talk about tonight, as well as the actual Womanese course. So I'm looking forward to doing this. And thanks to you guys for having me, man. I appreciate it.
No, of course. And for those that are watching, look, guys, our intention here is to decode some of the most common phrases so that you guys walk away with an enormous amount of value, whether you decide to get the course or not. Obviously it's there. We're giving you guys a discount. It's a flash sale. But if you guys don't want it, that's fine too. You guys are still going to be able to glean a bunch of value from this thing, because the thing I think that's very important with this is men need to understand that women don't communicate the way that we do. And since they don't communicate the way that we do, they might say things that fly over your head that you would think like, oh yeah, she literally means this. But in reality, it means something else, because women communicate extremely covertly. If you guys, have been watching our shows on After Hours, etc., and see how the women move, you guys already know that their communication system is vastly different than ours. And this course is going to definitely teach you that. But again, like I said, if you don't get the course, it doesn't matter. You guys are going to get a bunch of value just off of these phrases we're going to decode for you that women use every day. It's going to be a top 10 countdown of phrases that might get past you, or to at least decode what the hell they're really saying.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a bunch of them that we can cover. We'll cover 10 today. Typical one, they say, oh, I need space. Okay, you know what that really means. Oh, my God. Right? So we'll go through those along this podcast as well. But Donovan, also for the intro, we'll let you start this ball rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. First, I want to do a quick sound check. I want to know if you guys can hear this. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
We
got it.
Need to take a break.
Yes.
You hear it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I need space.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm sure that we all know, we are all well aware of the fact that in order to be successful on the dating market, whether it be short-term casual relationships to hookups and situationships to long-term relationships, the most important element of success in dating is understanding the true nature of women. Now, understanding a woman's true nature, it encompasses many, many things, but one of the most important components in understanding female nature is knowing the difference between what they say versus what they mean. Any man who is consistently successful with women, like you two, you guys clearly understand and can delineate that what a woman says is often very different from what they actually mean. Yes, every once in a blue moon, a woman will be direct with you. She'll just be straight up, but those instances are almost non-existent. The fact of the matter is, guys, is that better than 99% of the time when you're interacting with a woman, when a woman is communicating with you, she's not being straightforward. Now, I want to make this clear. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because this is just the way women are designed. This is the way they are. modern women, or women in general, they're not designed to be direct, because being direct is a masculine trait. We all say that we want feminine women, but then we turn around and we chastise them for exhibiting feminine traits, such as the inability and the unwillingness to be straight up in the way they communicate verbally. Now, all of that said, I will acknowledge that there is a huge difference between being vague, ambiguous, and indirect, and being deceitful, evasive, and just flat out being dishonest. And the men who understand the difference and can use this knowledge to make informed decisions about how to deal with any given female he's talking to, those are the men who are going to be successful. This, of course, is why I decided to create the first ever educational and informational course that tells you straight up and in no uncertain terms the difference between what women say and what women mean. I think we can all agree that most of us, or if not all of us, we want to be better with women. That's obvious. And the one way to drastically increase the odds of success, or at the very least decrease the odds of not being taken advantage of by women with bad intentions, is the ability to sort of read between the lines and understand what women are really saying when they communicate with you verbally. That's why I created Womanese. Now, I'm not going to sit here and guarantee that your dating life will improve with this course. But one thing that I will guarantee you is that your understanding of modern women will definitely drastically improve. What you do with this knowledge is up to you, but at least you will know what's happening. And I'll put it to you this way. Myron, I heard you make an analogy between, I forgot who you were comparing, but I wanted to make that same analogy. And I want to make this clear. Not all men who know Womanese are successful with women, but I can assure you that all men who are successful with women are definitely fluent in Womanese. Just because you know Womanese doesn't guarantee you results. What it does guarantee is that you will know what's happening. And as long as you have the information and the knowledge that this course provides, your odds of success will drastically increase. So that's where we're at today.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, half the game for a lot of guys is like, knowing what the hell's going on. Most guys are just simply clueless and take at face value what they say and think that that's what they mean. And the reality is that this is going to save you guys a lot of headaches, a lot of frustration. And actually, it'll keep you safe in some situations, because then you'll know,
Oh, yeah.
Yo, this girl's not interested. I'm not going to fucking keep pursuing her and waste time, or be labeled harassing or sexual, maybe some type of Me Too accusation could come. Like, you'll know quickly, okay, I'm just gonna move on. I'm not even gonna bother with talking to this woman anymore. So it benefits both parties, honestly, because when guys understand where women are coming from and what they mean, they're able to kind of just read between the lines and move on and not harass her, not bother her. So this actually does benefit women as well. It might not be as apparent, but it keeps you from being a bothersome prick. Because the reality also is this. Most women look at men as mosquitoes. They don't fucking like you guys, all right? So they're going to use disarming language to not necessarily let you know that you're a pesky mosquito. Rather, they will tell you things to make it where there's still plausible deniability, right? And that's a very dangerous and slippery slope. And a lot of guys, let's be honest, just don't have the skill set to be able to detect this. So hopefully we'll be able to decode some of this stuff for you guys, so you guys can go ahead and stop wasting your time and harassing women, quite frankly, that don't like you. So everyone wins in this when you understand this shit.
Also, when you're on a date, right, you're with a girl, she's going to give you certain tests, and if you can't pass, you won't smash at all. So ultimately, understanding what women say and what they actually mean can help you in a lot of ways, especially to smash on a date. 100%.
All right. So
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we can kick it off whenever you're ready with number 10.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through these. So number 10 is I need space. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Let me just make sure that I can share my screen. Let me share. Very good. Perfect. Okay. So the number 10 phrase that women like to use is I need space. Now, I want you guys to understand that there are variations to this particular translation. So it's going to be I need space, and it's probably going to be a couple more, but they all mean the same. So without further ado, here is number 10, I need space. And everybody can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Yep, we can.
Okay, very good. Okay, this is directly from the Womanese course. Here we go.
We need to take a break. I've been fucking another guy behind your back.
We should start seeing other people. I'm cheating on you. Let's try an open relationship. I'm having sex with another guy. We need to talk. I'm dumping you for the guy I'm cheating with.
A woman will never just tell you they're fucking someone else. So to circumvent having to be honest and having a difficult conversation, which, by the way, means admitting she's cheating, she'll use any combination of these statements to avoid looking like a cheating slut. If she says any of these things to you, she's been fucking another dude for at least 6 months and now knows she can start a relationship with him. Count on it. Okay, so
let's go, man. Let's fucking go. Vintage F&F is back. Let's fucking go, baby.
Hey, man. Hey, this is the way we do. Listen, you guys have been doing Fresh and Fit after hours for years, and you guys have seen and heard the many, many different ways that women characterize engaging in promiscuous behavior. You guys and you guys have interviewed what, like between 3,500 and like 4,000 girls or some crazy number like that, right?
Yeah, almost 3,500.
Right. And I don't think I or you have ever seen or heard a woman just say straight up, yeah, the reason my boyfriend and I broke up is because I wanted to sleep around, or my boyfriend dumped me because he found out I was cheating. The way this will help you guys when it comes to dating is by being proactively and asking her, hey, what happened in your relationship? She will say things like, we grew apart, or he wasn't attentive to my needs, or he cheated on me. And by the way, all of those phrases that I just said and translations are in this course. 625 translations, guys, believe it or not. 625 translations. It'll make you unstoppable. And when she says this to you, you now clearly understand that she is recreational use only. Gentlemen, this is how Womanese helps you. It gives you a clear understanding of which women you should take seriously and which women you should not.
Yeah, 625 translations is crazy.
I mean, it's probably more too, but that's a lot. By the way, most men don't understand anything at all.
Yeah.
So no. The vast population doesn't know shit.
And most guys, right? Let's be honest. All of us have heard this, right? Yeah. And a lot of guys will hear this and think, oh yeah, she just needs some space. Like, it's okay. And then I realize that, like, bro, there's literally a dumpster fire going on, and you're over here thinking like it's not a big deal.
And what's happening too, like you said, she already moved on in her head mentally and physically.
Yep.
But you're 100%. Still trying to work on things, babe. I love you. Here's some roses. Here's a trip to Jamaica. No, it's over, bro. It's over. So
cooked.
Yeah, good point.
Totally over. So that is the number 10 phrase. Now, the number 9 phrase, and again, there are going to be several variations to this phrase. This is when you are asking her to meet up. Okay. Now, so phrase number 9 is we'll see. But again, I'm going to be translating. Most of these mean the same thing. So here we go with phrase number 9 of our top 10. We'll see. Here we go.
Maybe. No. We'll see. No. More than likely. Hell nah.
If nothing comes up, sure. Sure won't. If I can finish my project, of course. Of course not.
If I don't have plans, definitely. Definitely not.
When it comes to meeting up with girls, a general rule of thumb is that if the answer is anything but yes, the answer is always no. Listen, if a girl wants to meet up with you, she'll meet up with you. She won't put conditions on it. She won't tell you about other plans. She'll simply say yes and wait for your instructions. Gentlemen, this is where a lot of guys end up wasting a lot of time and energy and resources on a woman who's just not interested in him. Okay, like it said in this clip, if the answer is anything but yes, the answer is always no. Guys, there are no exceptions. And the way this will help you guys on the dating market is that you won't be wasting time chasing women who don't like you like that. These are the girls who almost always put you in the friend zone if they don't just straight up ghost you altogether, right? Mm-hmm. The men who understand this, if the answer is anything yes, anything but yes, it's definitely no. Those are the men who do not get hung up on girls who don't want them, which obviously allows you to move on and spend time pursuing women whose interest level is high.
So, as a guy that loves going on dates, I realized a lot of things in the past that worked against me. But the best thing I figured out was that, like, these certain phrases here are kind of like I'll give you hope. But right now, as Donovan showed you, there's no hope. So you spend time texting him like, how's your day? How are things going? You think like, okay, I'm getting somewhere with this. Oh, she's just busy, so she'll be fine. Maybe in 2 days or so, she'll be fine again. But it's the same answer over and over again. So to save time and save energy, you just move on to somebody else that's actually going to pay attention to you and say, yes, I'm available on these days, or yes, today. By the way, if someone's really into you, she's going to say, maybe not today, but I'm free on Thursday or Friday.
There you go.
Put another date in place to let you know, okay, I like you enough to say, I'll make time for you just on these days. So ultimately, what I was saying is, like, with those answers, it's a hell no, pretty much.
Yep.
So.
Okay, we ready to move on to phrase number, let's see, that was 9, that was 8. You guys ready to move on to phrase number, phrase number 8. You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, so phrase number 8. Now, again, this is sort of a multifaceted translation, and this is kind of a dating hack that I figured out. So phrase number 8 is, I'm a strong and independent woman. And away we go.
No way.
I'm a strong woman. I want a strong man. I'm super competitive. I want a super competitive guy.
Men are intimidated by me. I am turned on by men who intimidate me.
A dating hack I discovered a while back is if you ask her what kind of woman she is, she will tell you what kind of man she wants. A woman who talks about how strong, competitive, and intimidating she is telling you she's turned on by strong, competitive, and intimidating men.
Okay, so this is why I have always, and guys, I have hundreds of consultation clients at this point. And one thing that I've always encouraged men to be is proactive in their dealings with women as far as vetting them are concerned. And guys, for those of you who are watching, ask questions. Okay, don't be afraid to quiz her. Don't be afraid to put her on the spot. Because if there is one thing that we are all well aware of, whether you're good with women or not, is that they love nothing more than to what? Talk about themselves. And not a one of us in here watching right now are unaware of the phrase of let a woman talk long enough and eventually she will tell on herself. And that's the point here with this translation. Women and guys, if you are paying attention and you understand womanese, you will discover that women are always telling us who and what they are. But most of the time, they're not aware that they're doing this.
Yes.
This particular translation group, this allows you to find out what kind of woman you're dealing with, as well as the kind of man she wants to deal with. Again, this saves you a lot of time because now you have the information you need to make the call as to whether or not you want to continue dealing with her.
I'm a PhD.
Donovan, this is a very good, I want to say, assertion because, okay, on a date, right, guys, there's a power struggle between you and her.
Yes.
Whoever's answering the questions is in control. So ultimately, if you want to have success and understand who you're dealing with, you should ask questions. Now, here's the problem. Guys are like, oh, no, bro, I need to conversate and dominate this conversation. I'm going to talk about me this whole time. Bro, you just gave her the whole spiel about you. You know nothing about her, which pretty much leaves her with all the power. Now, here's what you should do, like what Donovan was alluding to earlier. You should be able to answer questions to get to know her better. Now, if you understand womanese, she's going to tell you, oh, yeah, I'm strong and independent, which just means, like Donovan said, that's what she wants in a man. Now, here's the thing that they do all the time that's pretty funny. Ask them about their exes. This is hilarious. They'll always say, it was mutual, or they'll say, oh, yeah, he was a bad person. It wasn't ever me. That goes to show you, one, there's no accountability, but she puts the blame on other people. So in the future, when you become her ex, you're gonna be the one to blame next. But nonetheless, guys, the main thing here is to ask questions to figure out who she is. And with this womanese talk, if you understand that, you can translate what she means in real time and then decipher if she's good or not. And then again, as a man, you can choose what you want to do from there. But ultimately, she's gonna tell you what you want to hear. But womanese is gonna understand what she actually means in the real time.
Dude, W Fresh. Dude, I remember when you first started doing Fresh and Fit, like you had a little bit of game. You had enough to be able to get laid, but God, dude, you're a black belt now, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Look, I've seen the steady increase, man. Good for you.
3 dates today, when I met Myron, and it's funny, your ninth womanese phrase, when they say we'll see, maybe, helped me to disqualify so many people off rip just to make sure, okay, time wasters, because I already know what that means. Cool.
There you go.
On to the next one. So it works out.
Yeah, if something better doesn't come along, I'll hang out with you.
But in Miami, it's a hyper.
It's even worse.
Because they have offers, for example, yacht parties, mansion parties, dinner parties, clubs, millionaires, athletes. So it's heightened in Miami so much that it's just normal. So if
they say it here, it's actually like there's actually a high likelihood it's not going to work out because it's just ridiculous how much
options they have,
pull and levers they have here. It's just absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
It's crazy. All right, let's go to phrase number 7. So we did 10, 9, 8. We're going to go to 7. Number 7, it's actually one that Fresh just said is my ex is an asshole. Here is what she really means when she says her ex is an asshole. Here we go.
My ex is such an asshole. I'm still in love with my ex.
A woman who talks shit about her ex is not over her ex. Remember, gentlemen, the more she tries to convince you of something, the less likely it's true. A woman who calls her ex an ass wants her ex in her ass. Never forget that.
Yo, Donovan is crazy, bro.
So many men. I had so much fun doing this. There are so many men out there, including and listen, I used to be one of these men. I'm sure that there are guys in the chat who think this way. They actually think that if a woman thinks her ex is an asshole, that she no longer wants her ex, which we know is absolutely wrong. Yes, she's not lying when she says he's an asshole. Yes, she thinks he's an asshole, and chances are he probably is. But if you're dealing with a woman who A, talks about her ex, and B, calls him an asshole, you need to understand that she is not over that dude, okay? The reason she's talking to you instead of her ex, a lot of times is to sort of create a false scarcity with her ex to give her ex the impression that she's fucking somebody else. The second reason, and the most important reason, is that she's looking to distract herself. She doesn't like you like that, guys. All she wants, she just wants to continue that steady, consistent flow of male attention from you while she waits for her ex to make a play to get back with her. And when he does, she'll go running back to him and then come with you. Well, we need to talk. So understanding this translation will once again keep you from what class? Wasting time with women who don't really like you like that. Every woman has that one ex or that one situationship she cannot and will not leave alone. Yes, eventually they will move on from that dude to some degree. But if she calls her ex an asshole while she's dealing with you, understand that it is only a matter of time before she starts fucking him again.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think men understand this, that like women put men in compartmentalized roles. Like,
yes,
you might just be a distraction. You might just be convenient. You might be able to offer her something that her guy doesn't. Because the thing is that women don't have a natural proclivity to be 304s. Right. It's kind of a byproduct with the inadequate men, right? So we'll give them a little bit of credit here, or a little bit of defense, where the problem is that it's very difficult for women to find everything they want in one guy. So what they always have to do is they kind of have to spread certain attractive traits amongst different guys. So you got one guy that's like kind of more the, nice guy, beta provider that has that stability. Then you got a guy that's more dominant, is attractive, but is a commitment phobe. Then you got another guy that might be funny and charming, but not maybe the best looking. So women are able to kind of do this where they put guys in certain roles based on what they need at the moment, right? So if she just broke up with the asshole guy, right, or maybe they had a fight, she might go ahead and lean more towards the nice guy that can comfort her, right, and hang out with him. And then as soon as that other guy, they fix things up, she runs back to him. This is why when you deal with women, guys, a lot of times, this whole hot and cold thing that men deal with women, just understand that when a woman's being hot and cold, that means there's another guy in the picture. And I don't think enough guys understand this, where they think, oh, is she playing games? She's playing with my heart, blah, blah. No, bro, it's that there's another guy in the picture. If you look at female behavior when it comes to being flaky, not being transparent, standing you up, taking your attention but never wanting to meet up, whatever. Like, any of the things as to why the red pill exists in the fucking first place, which the red pill, once again, is nothing more than the truth when it comes to female sexual inner dynamics. Anything that, like, is a pain point for a majority of men when it comes to dating, it always comes back to one root cause. There's another guy. Flaking too much? There's another guy. Doesn't respond to your texts? There's another guy. Doesn't want to meet up? There's another guy. Being disrespectful and rude to you? There's another guy. Like, every single root cause of female fuckery, 9 out of 10 times, has to do with there's another guy. And the problem is that a lot of guys don't want to take this, how do I say this? They have a romanticized view of their girl in their mind. Oh, she would never do that to me. Like, she would never go talk to another guy instead of me. It must be something else. Maybe she's just, like, having a hard time at work. Maybe her family is going through some stuff or whatever. Right. Like, men almost always make excuses for female fuckery because they don't want to deal with the hardcore fucking truth that, yo, your girl might be stepping out on you. Like, that is a blow to a lot of guys' egos, because we know that a woman stepping out on you is not their natural proclivity. Like, most girls, even the most promiscuous of women, want stability. So when she goes ahead and steps out on you, that's a very big telltale sign that you're doing something extremely wrong. And a lot of guys don't want to face that ugly reality. So they'll make excuses for their girl as to why she's behaving in a certain way that isn't productive to the relationship. And they'll give her an out. I can't tell you how many times guys will sit there and super chat. I mean, we were here the other night. Remember that guy? I'm talking to this girl on the internet. She's in my frame. Yeah. Right? Like, saying all this stupid ass shit, like using super these chat. Red pill buzz terms to substantiate their fucking their pathetic
I brought
stance.
her into my frame.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's like, bro, you don't even know this bitch. She's across the world. You don't know anything. She's just saying what she's got to say. But you've watched a couple of fucking Fresh Fit episodes. You saw a couple. You read The Rational Male. Now you're a fucking woman expert. No, bro. And that's the problem when it comes to theory versus application. A lot of guys just stick on the theory, but they don't understand that applying it is completely different to the theory, because every girl is different, and you're going to have to apply the theory in different ways depending on each woman and each certain circumstance. And there's so many different revolving factors that are moving simultaneously that you need to account for that completely change or dictate how you're going to approach a situation. But me speaking from a general bird's eye view here, a lot of the problems that arise come from there's another guy and guys' lack of acceptance of that uncomfortable fact, because it inevitably lets the man know you are lacking in something, and most guys don't want to deal with that.
Oftentimes I talk about the difference between a woman who gives you plan A energy and plan B energy.
Yeah.
If you are a woman's number one, you will know unequivocally that you are number one. She responds to all of your texts. She lets you do whatever you want to her in bed. She brings you lunch to work. She defers to you. If you ever have to ask yourself, even in your mind, am I her first choice? Is there another guy in the picture? My friend, you already know the answer to that question. Girls will make it very, very clear that you are their number one. They will never, ever leave you in the dark if they like you the most.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll take a step further, though. When it comes to dating girls nowadays, guys, you're never number one. Let me explain what that means.
Right.
When you meet her for the first time, you're meeting her after other guys. Look at Ray J. He said he's first. That was cap. He was not first.
Oh, yeah.
But ultimately, though, what's happening is that, like, you have to kind of supersede the ex, the alpha that was in her life before, wink, wink, or the guy she's dating right now. So ultimately, what that means is that you're gonna have to become that guy for her when you meet her. Now, you can ask questions about her ex, like I said before, and you can kind of backtrack it to make it work for you. So let me explain. If her ex was the asshole that really had time for her, was with her for 4 years, and she stayed all that time, what does it tell you about her ex? That was her type.
Exactly.
So, not to sound like a asshole here, but if you want to make it work with her or have fun with her or make it actually last, you gotta be that same guy.
You gotta be that dude.
If you're too nice and you're the opposite, just know she's gonna leave you in a heartbeat. So that is telling you in the future what the play is. Now, ultimately, though, guys, like I said before, you're never gonna be the first guy or the number one guy at the very beginning. You have to work your way up, which sounds kind of fucked up, but I mean, if you are that guy and you know you're number one in your own eyes, she's gonna see it as well. But what I'm saying is, in the moment of meeting her for the first time, she's telling other guys 100%. So you gotta make sure that she knows that you're that guy, not by saying it, of course, but by actions of who you are. Then you become that number one spot. But then again, if you're not gonna be that number one guy, which I mean you're not that actual guy, there's gonna be a guy in the background, either an ex or a current guy that's gonna supersede you at all times. So Donovan's right.
100%, man. And again, that's another dating hack. If you want to know whether or not you are plan A or plan B, C, or D, listen for her talking about her ex. If she even talks about her ex, okay, you already know there's a possibility you're probably not plan A. But if she says her ex is an asshole, you are definitely not plan A. You're probably plan B, C, or D, and that's the bottom line.
No, guys, I know it sounds difficult, but honestly, once you understand this, it's not that hard. I'm telling you. Dating itself is tough. I'll be honest with you, but understanding these principles here and Womanese will help it make it go way easier in that sense. So
absolutely, it shortens your learning curve. All right, we ready to go to the next phrase?
Yes, we are.
All right, phrase number 6 in our top 10 is "we have such a healthy relationship." Conversely, on the other side of that, which is sort of number 6B, is "this is a toxic relationship." And Womanese will translate the difference between the two and what they really mean. Here we go.
This is a toxic relationship.
You're making it so hard for me to cheat on you.
When a woman finds it hard to cheat on you, she'll characterize your relationship as toxic to try to get you to make it easier for her to cheat. Way too many men fall for this ploy. Do not be one of these men.
We have such a healthy relationship. It will be very easy to cheat on you when I decide to.
Beware of any woman who brags about a healthy relationship. This means she has cheated, is cheating, or is going to cheat. Remember what I said about toxic relationships? Well, the opposite applies when a woman says her relationship is healthy.
You guys need to understand, dude, everybody watching, we if you haven't heard anything I have said tonight, understand this. You guys need to understand very, very clearly that modern women always want it both ways, right? They want the status and the security of being in a relationship while being able to engage in activities that make them look single. In other words, they want you to take them off the market, but still allow her to have the for rent sign in the front yard. And guys, in Myron and Fresh, this is where most men go wrong in their relationships. When a woman shames you, like in the clip you just saw, they're clearly telling you that they don't want to be faithful to you. Women go to the club for attention. They're on Instagram because they're looking for your replacement. They travel without you because they want to get dicked down but not lose the attention, pardon me, that you give them as her significant other. The men who do not allow women to act single while in relationships are the men that women respect. They might not like it, but they will respect it. And as we all know, a woman cannot love you if she does not respect you.
Yeah, I mean, this comes with the whole boundary thing, and a lot of girls will say, "Oh, you're insecure," and what I always respond to that when they say that you're insecure for saying I can't go out or I can't do certain things, I say, well, who's more secure, the man that has boundaries and tells you what those boundaries are and is willing to enforce them, or the man that's too scared to tell you what it is and kind of lets you just run amok because they're scared of losing you because of this whole insecure thing? And this is where I kind of have to deprogram men to let them know, like, look. You're going to have very uncomfortable conversations with your girls sometimes and tell her, like, no, you're not doing that. And if you do, you're fucking out the door. And it's guys are scared because they're like, oh, man, she's going to leave me. Like, I don't have the ability to dictate that. But you'd be shocked at how just you putting your foot down and saying, like, I don't commit to girls that do XYZ type behavior will make them have to choose. Okay, well, am I going to go ahead and do said behavior that he doesn't like? Or am I going to go ahead and evaluate this relationship? And honestly, this is survival of the fittest. Like, if she decides to go out and party, well, good job. You've effectively removed a girl that's going to be problematic and cause you a lot of headache later on. So, yes, it might be some initial pain now, but it's going to cause you long-term success later on because you got rid of that girl that was problematic. It's like having a tapeworm, right? Like,
yes.
If you know that you have a tapeworm in your stomach, in your gut, like, is it going to suck to get it out in the initial stages? Absolutely. Right? It's going to suck. It's going to be painful. It's going to be uncomfortable. However, if you let that tapeworm stay there because you're too scared to do the surgery and have that discomfort, well, that tapeworm is going to grow and absolutely destroy you from the inside out. This is how you end up with guys where they're in a relationship with a girl, they commit to the girl, they marry the girl, right? Finances start getting tied together. They make it work for a couple of years. Then they have kids. Now, that tapeworm is fully grown, and there's no way to take it out without killing the host. And I don't think enough men understand this, that you putting your foot down later on, you putting your foot down early on is going to prevent you from her putting her foot on your neck later on. That's the truth. You either put your foot down now or she puts her foot on your neck later. So you pick and choose what you want to do. And I would argue most men are okay with a woman keeping a foot on their neck. And that's how you end up, ironically enough, in the position where the relationship is miserable. Because enough guys don't understand that that you need to get rid of problematic women immediately. Right? Rich Cooper always says, hire slow, fire fast. You need to be the same way with women, right? Wife her up slow, but get rid of her quickly. And if she can't go ahead and just like obey a simple task, hey, I don't need you to do X, Y, Z or stay home, and she doesn't want to do that, get rid of her. One guy I remember super chatted in, right? I'll never forget this. It was like literally a week ago or so. Like the guy is, he says, hey guys, I broke up with my girl because I told her not to go out on New Year's Eve to this place, and she went anyway. Did I make the right decision? Now, we had a bunch of girls on the panel, so I said, you know what? Let's see what the girls got to say. Every single one of the girls said that he made a bad decision because they were together for 2 years.
She's just going out.
He should have had a conversation with her, and it wasn't that serious to rise to the level of dropping her. Now, I think only one girl said that he made the right choice, and I think she was in a long-term relationship. But all the other girls, even the ones that were in relationships, said that his response was too drastic.
Too harsh.
It was too harsh. It wasn't necessary. And thank God that I let the women go ahead and give that answer because it proves what we've always said. Women are not really in a position to give you advice as a guy because if you let them make the decision for you, it's always going to be less punitive, not holding them accountable, and put them in a position of power where they can disrespect your authority while simultaneously getting the same benefits like you described before. They want to go ahead and be wifed up, but they want to behave as if they're not, as they're single. And that's something that needs to be nipped in the butt early on in the relationship. You want a relationship with me, right? You take the for sale sign off. But modern women dupe a lot of guys and tell them, hey, look, it's okay for me to have the for sale sign even though you paid full price for this, right? And there's two guys. There's guys that say, you're going to take that fucking sign off or else I'm going to bring you back to the fucking car lot. Or, right? Oh, no, it's okay. You can keep wearing the sign because I want to keep driving this car. And then who runs who? The car's driving you. You're not driving the car anymore. And this is like a dynamic that so many men don't understand because it's perpetuated and reinforced, right, in popular culture. All the women said that he acted too drastically in that situation, even though he made the right fucking call. And I would argue, if you took a majority of men, right? This is just the women that said that stupid shit. I'll take it a step further. It's not even a woman problem. If we went across America and we gave the scenario, look, they've been together for 2 years. He told her not to go to New Year's Eve party. She went anyway, and he broke up with her. Even the men would say, yeah, bro, that's a little harsh. 2 years, damn. And that just goes to show how much of a cucked fucking society we have, where men get shamed by other men for putting boundaries on female fuckery. This is why I go on something like fucking Jubilee, or I debate these liberals, and they look at me as an extremist. Oh, you're a far-right extremist when it comes to intersexual dynamics. Like, you don't respect women. No, I respect women to behave like women, and that means that they need authority. And that means that you need to have hard-line fucking boundaries with them, or else they're gonna fucking run amok on you. And this is what it is, and this is where we are in society now, where a majority of people will accept intolerable and unacceptable female behavior under the guise of, oh, you're overreacting, oh, it's not that serious, etc. It's very fucking serious. Because a woman that betrays her man and doesn't obey his commands is the same as a man that's not willing to stand up to protect his woman in times of danger. It's the fucking same. It's a betrayal to the highest degree. But we live in this crazy egalitarian world where for some odd reason they think male betrayal and female betrayal is the same. No, it's not. We're completely different. A woman that betrays you and your trust and doesn't obey is the same as you that betrays her when the rubber meets the road and someone fucking comes in and tries to take her life. You don't stand in and protect her. That's the biggest form of betrayal for the man. And that is equivalent to a woman not obeying your commands. And I think men need to wake up and understand this shit, that if a woman doesn't listen to what you say, that's a microcosm of a way bigger fucking problem where this tapeworm is going to grow and eat you and destroy you. And you won't be able to get rid of it without dying. So guys got to wake up, man.
Dude, real talk. And it's funny, a lot of guys tend to ask you guys and myself, okay, you guys talk about standards, boundaries and expectations. I want you guys to understand this. This is some free game I'm going to give you guys. In this day and age, never, ever, ever angle for a relationship with your woman first. The reason why I advise my guys to never angle for the relationship first is that because when you ask a woman for her commitment, you are indirectly letting her know that she has fulfilled all of the requirements to secure your commitment. And when she thinks that she has met all the requirements to secure your commitment, guess what she also thinks? She doesn't have to do anything to keep your commitment. You can't, and here's the thing. You can't be dating a girl for 6 months and say, okay, you can't be on social media. No, guys. We can't control women, nor are we interested in doing that. You can't control your woman. No, women don't like controlling men. They love men who are in control. And so when you're dealing with women in this way, they're only going to respect you if you are steadfast in your boundary standards and expectations. So now some people are thinking, okay, well, if I don't set, how do I get boundary standards and expectations? Pardon me. I think what a lot of men have to understand, and I'll give you just a little bit of game here. The unlock your phone and hand it to me right now. That is a simple exercise to show a woman that you're dealing with in order to be in a committed relationship with you. So I'll give you guys sort of the Reader's Digest version. So you're fucking a woman. You guys are having fun. If she likes you enough, inevitably she's going to drop you. She's going to drop these. So what are we? What's our title? What's our friend? What do I tell my friends? What do I tell my family? You tell her, you put it off. Look, you don't want to be in a relationship with a guy like me. You have to put her off. Never tell a girl yes the first time she asks to be your girlfriend. She's going to try it 2 or 3 more times. The third or fourth time, you give her the unlock your phone and hand it to me right now test. And here's how you do it. Donovan, I want to be in a relationship with you, and I'm telling you, if we're not going to be in a relationship, then we can't have sex anymore. We have all heard that. Either give me the commitment or I'm taking the vagina off the table. So you tell the girl, okay, do you really, really want to know what it's like to be in a relationship with a guy like me? Yes, I want to know. Okay, unlock your phone and hand it to me right now. Okay. Now she's going to look at you. She's going to look at you like a deer in the headlights because she doesn't want you to know that she's talking to 5 or 6 other guys. She likes you the most. That's why she's trying to consolidate on you. But when you tell her to unlock your phone and hand it to me right now, that directly and indirectly lets her know that this is going to be the standard. I am not going to commit to a woman who routinely acts single. Well, the next time she asks you, hey, you know, I'm ready to be in a relationship, here's my phone. Now, you're not going to look at the phone because you're not really going to take her word for it because she probably erased all the dicks. So at that point, she's going to ask you, okay, I gave you my phone. Are you ready to be my boyfriend now? You tell her, that's a start. She's going to say, that's a start. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And this is where you drop it on her. Listen, I'm not your father, and I'm not going to tell you what to do or what you can't do, but I will tell you this. I don't date women who are on social. I don't commit to women who are on social media. I don't commit to women who go to bars and clubs. I don't commit to women who travel for work, and I don't commit to women who go to spring break. She's going to ask you, well, does that mean that I have to delete Instagram? No, that's not what that means. But what I am telling you is that if you are on Instagram, you are a woman that I don't commit to. So if I go to the bar or the club, are we still in the relationship? No, because I'm not going to allow you to put our relationship at risk. And the bottom line here with this particular conversation is that there are way too many men who try to give women ultimatums. If you go to the club, we are finished. Don't give them don't give them ultimatums, gentlemen. Give her choices. You can either go to the club or you can either be with me, but you can't have both. And men who characterize it and put it like that, those are the men that women respect.
And I also want to bring attention to this, right? Because we got a retard in the chat that said, oh, these three need Jesus. Okay. Here's the problem, buddy. Jesus isn't going to save you. He can't even save these fucking whores. What do you think is going to happen with you, right? These tradcons, these Christian guys, these Muslim guys, whatever it is, whether these religious guys, you guys got to understand that religion is no longer strong enough of an institution to keep female hypergamy at bay.
There you go.
I'm going to say that one more time. Religion, and we can actually talk about society in general. Religion, shame, society, governance, etc. These things are no longer in place to curb female hypergamy. All right? So, like, to sit there and say, oh, well, you know, religion is going to solve everything. Look, you're devout, you're Christian, awesome. But for you to sit there and try to say, okay, I'm religious, so therefore I'm going to go ahead and apply this, my God pill to women, it's not going to save you because most women don't identify as religious whatsoever. And we've even seen it where the most religious of women, the most traditional conservative women, guess what? They reserve the right to always become a feminist whenever it benefits them. Don't believe me? Look at Steven Crowder's wife right now. Devout Christian. Didn't have a high body count. Great woman, right? Now she's trying to destroy him. Still keeps his last name, by the way. Time to take the kids, etc. This happens every fucking day in America. So, again, if it was 1954, I would say, cool, go ahead.
Cool.
Let's use the church. Let's use the mosque. Let's use the synagogue to keep women in line. But religion is no longer as powerful as an institution as it used to be to curb and deal with the detriments of modern feminism today. You must adapt to the new fucking normal. So yes, some of you might say, well, this is extreme. What do you mean? Like, she needs to ask you for the relationship. What do you mean? Unlock your phone, whatever. This is, right, adaptation, my friends, to the new normal, to the new sexual marketplace, to the modern woman. Now, are there women out there that are God-fearing religious women? Of course.
Sure.
You might be able to find one. If you can, more power to you. But what I am telling you is a majority of women don't. And a majority of women are going to subscribe to secular, non-religious worldviews that typically are tied intimately to feminism. So since that's the new normal that we're in, you need to adapt to the new normal, bro. You're probably more than likely not going to find your next girlfriend or wife at a church. Sorry. You're probably not going to find your next girl at the mosque. Sorry. It's just not going to happen, bro. Like, unless you're a Ben Shapiro, you're not going to find your fucking girl at the fucking synagogue either at Harvard, where you both come from affluent Jewish families and your goals align. It's not going to happen. And these tradcons try to sit there and tell you, oh, it's possible, but is it probable? The answer is a profound fucking no. It's not happening, guys, for a majority of you. So you need to adapt to new normal and understand this is how modern women move, and the training wheels that we had in place with religion, shame, the government, all of these institutions that used to keep hypergamy at bay, they're fucking gone. So now you got to deal with the new situation in 2025, not fucking 1955.
Extreme times call for extreme measures. You can listen, 50, 60, 70 years ago, is it extreme? Now, obviously, the phone didn't exist back then, but yeah, 50, 60, 70 years ago, was it extreme to be doing and saying the things we're doing and saying? Absolutely. But like I said before, extreme times call for extreme measures, and you can either adapt or you can get left behind or you can get used like a tennis shoe. It's up to you.
The guys that get cleaned out the most are the religious guys.
Of course.
Because they literally say, oh, I'm putting everything on God. That's cool. But here's the problem, my friend. You put everything on God, but she doesn't.
Nope. Nope.
It's only going to work if she fears God. And I'm here to tell you, motherfuckers, a lot of these women are godless, secular fucking demons.
100%.
I'm the one that has the fucking balls to tell y'all niggas this on the internet. This is the truth. A lot of them don't give a fuck about religion and don't fear God like you do. So they're not going to hold the same values and standards that you do. They might go ahead and sell you a dream. Oh yeah, no, I'm a religious, God-fearing woman, but they're really not, bro. They're really not.
And I'll tell you something else too. And here's what a lot of guys need to understand. Dude, modern women don't have any steadfast beliefs of their own. They don't. They pretend they do. But I'll tell you this. Modern women only believe what the strongest men in their lives believe. And if you are the strongest man in her life, then she will fall into your belief system. If you're a Christian and you're the strongest man in her life, praise be to God. If you're a Muslim, assalamu alaikum, my brother, or whatever the case may be. If you're an atheist, there is no God. If you're a Trump supporter, make America great again. If you're the strongest man in her life and you're even a Kamala supporter, guess what? She's going to be anti-Trump along with that. Understand, gentlemen, that women use religion to sell purity. It's not really about religion and God. It's about, is my man strong enough to lead me? Will I follow him where he goes? Again, modern women only believe what the strongest men in their lives believe. So if you get with a woman and you don't start to see your woman's beliefs, whether they're religious or political, start to align with yours, you're not the strongest man in her life, my friend.
I mean, think about this. She won't submit to God. Why would she submit to you?
Ooh.
Think about this.
Because she's going to say, I'm a Christian, but partying on Saturdays.
Yep, there it is.
I'm a Christian, but take the word in her own light and say, oh, women first, because I feel this way. So if they don't submit it to God, why are they going to submit to you?
There's a thin line between Saturday night and Sunday morning. And listen, I think at some point, Hafiz, who's been sort of out of the game for a while, I think he's about to have a very rude awakening, because I believe that, number one, Hafiz lost his virginity to his wife. And number two, Hafiz's wife actually got him to convert to her religion. That frame is all wrong, man. He is in big trouble, and we're going to see the results of that here in a few years.
Wait, really?
Yes.
No way.
Yes, Hafiz. If you go back and watch,
I didn't know that.
Before he took a steep nosedive, if you watch, his now wife convinced him to leave. I think his family was like a part of another religion or something like that. She got him to sort of not excommunicate his family, but he decided to disavow everything that his family believed in order to become a Christian, and then they got married in the church. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but just based on what I've heard, I think Hafiz lost his virginity to his wife. And the reason I say that is because she got him to convert to her religion.
Well, golly.
Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right, do we want to go to number 5?
Christ is king, though, so he made a good choice. All right, let's do some chats real quick, and we'll tap back into the next one.
Let's go.
All right, we'll do one more phrase, and then we'll do chats.
Okay, very good. So phrase number 5 of our top 10 countdown is "That's a red flag." Take a look and listen. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry about that. Let's try that again.
All right.
There we go. All right.
It's a red flag. That turns me on.
If it gets the attention of law enforcement, it gets the attention of young, hot females. Red flags are turn-ons for girls, guys, and that's all there is to it. If a woman says XYZ is a red flag, it means she's turned on by him.
Again, Myron Fresh, you guys have interviewed thousands of girls over the years. And the one thing that is consistent across the board in terms of their mate selection is that they consistently commit to, have children with, and get into situationships with men who have what class? Red flags. And they tell us as much all the time when they talk about why their relationships end or why they're not with the baby daddy anymore. And better than 9 times out of 10, they rattle off red flag after red flag. He drank too much. He was a drug addict. He had a gambling addiction. He had 2 baby mamas, when I met him. I mean, the list goes on and on. So when these chicks are out here talking about, well, that's a red flag, it is important to understand that this means they are giving you the green light to pursue them. Should it be like this? No. That's the way it is.
I'll say this about red flags. If you talk to a woman and she's giving you a lot of like what her ex or, for example, guys she dated in the past have done, it's a record of who she actually likes and likes to be around. Now, she may want to make a change and try out a new type of guy, But for the most part, her history shows that she's into XYZ. Now, everything other than hitting women
aren't as open-minded sexually as we are, guys. Keep that in mind. They typically tend to stay in their niche. Like they're far more restrictive when it comes to giving men opportunities than you are when it comes to giving women opportunities. Sorry. You're saying?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Fresh.
You told me for that?
This nigga, bro.
How's it finished, bro? All right, so listen. This is where I was going with this. That's a different tangent. Now, listen, right? That whole pretext of her history is going to give you a lot of insight on who she really dates. However, look at it this way. If a woman wants to actually be with you long term, or even see you as a future update, she's going to tell you what you want to hear, as in like, okay, that was my past, here's my future.
Right.
But look at what she's actually done in the past. The history itself always repeats. Now, she might want to try a new thing, like I said before, but let's look at the deep things here she's saying. She's saying he was an asshole, he would show up late, he would never really take me out on dates, and maybe at the beginning he was somewhat cool, but then turned to that, and she stayed for 4 years. Now, why she stayed for 4 years or more is because that was her guy, and the other guys were pretty much the same as that other guy. So if you could read into that and say, okay, if I want to make this work somewhat to my advantage, I know how to play the cards in the future. I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay. All right. You guys want to do the chats now, or do you want to do one more before we go to the top three? So I got 4 left. Well, I mean, it's up to you.
We can hit the chats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's up
can
to you
hit the
guys.
chats.
It's your show.
Because I don't think we've let them build up for a bit.
There's a few.
Okay. You guys want to do number 4 and then do the chat?
Yeah, 1 second. Oh, you guys are doing 4? You doing 4?
Do number 4?
Yeah, he's already there.
All right, let's just have him ready next time, guys.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and do number 4. So the number 4. So again, we're doing the top 10. So the number 4. The number 4 phrase that women like to use when trying to deceive men is "I want to take things slow." Take a look and listen.
I want to take this slow. I want to keep fucking my ex while you buy me things.
Women never take things slow with the men they want to fuck. They say this to make them think there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, so that man will stick around and do her favors, thinking she'll reward him for his efforts. Newsflash, she'll never fuck that guy. So if a woman ever says this to you, understand that you will never, ever fuck her. Save yourself some time and bounce like a bad check.
Guys, this is how dudes get friend zoned, right? They take the girl's word for it that she actually wants to take things slow because she wants to do it right and not jump into a sexual relationship right away. Meanwhile, she's getting bottomed out by her ex while you're giving her all of the benefits of being in a relationship, which is your attention and time and so forth, without her having to give you sex. If a woman wants to take things slow with you, it means she does not like you like that. Period, point blank, full stop.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, her making you wait is the biggest one of the biggest indicators of you being lower status. That it's one of the most honest displays that she doesn't like you as much.
Yep.
And
they never want to take things. Women never want to take things slow with the guys that they're aroused by. They never have and never will. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, she's making rules for you while breaking them for other guys, and that's just something that a lot of guys need to understand and not accept. Right, a lot of these girls. Right, this is like the single mom theory, right? Where she's a single mom, she made really bad reproductive decisions, but now she wants to go ahead and put boundaries and rules up for you that she didn't put up for the other guy, and you're basically paying full price for a used car. And I know people say, "Oh, well, that's a very fucked up and antiquated way to look at this," but it's the truth.
It's true.
Like, bro, this is what it is. This is human biology. Like, women will sit there and try to sell you a depreciating asset that's already been depreciated for significantly more than someone else. And that's what it comes down to, where guys just need to be intelligent enough to understand, okay, is this woman worthy of what she requires? And most of the time it's a no. I hate to say it, but like most of the time it's a no. They're overcharging for their product, right?
That's
like
right.
and only women are able to do this, right? Like if you're a guy and you're a fucking loser, and you don't have the leverage to demand a certain type of woman, like reality lets you know this fairly quickly, and men make peace with it, right? Like we know all the time that guys, right, might be outclassed by a woman, and if he gets her, great. If he doesn't, like there's no real like, oh yeah, you get what you're in, right? But with women, for some odd reason, if I say, hey, you're batting out of your league, you don't deserve this caliber of guy, you should probably, tone down your standards, it's looked at as misogynistic. And I look at it like, no, it's realistic, because men have an honest understanding of where we stand in the sexual marketplace. We understand, look, we haven't reached a certain level, so therefore we cannot expect a certain level of female, right? So, but men make peace with this and understand it, but women, for some odd reason, don't. You'll have a woman that's a single mom, not attractive, overweight, rude, rambunctious, not submissive, and she'll sit there and say, well, I demand a guy that's 6 foot plus that's making $300,000, $400,000 per year. And that it's ludicrous, but it's because we don't tell them anything. We don't tell them the truth. Whereas, like, if I took a dude that's homeless and he said, oh, yeah, I want a bad bitch, Instagram model, we'd all laugh at him. Rightfully so. We'd ridicule him and say, you don't qualify, buddy. And he would probably sit there and tell you, yeah, you're right, I don't qualify. I need to accept it. But if I tell women this, they look at me like I'm an asshole. And the problem is that we need to go back to telling people the truth. And if we did tell them the truth, we'd be in a much better society. But it's because we lie. It's because we care more about political correctness and feelings than getting shit done or being pragmatic and honest as to why we have so many of the societal issues we have now.
Yeah, and I'll also tell you this. I think we need to start calling women losers, man. We just need to start calling what they're... Listen, listen, man, if you're a man and you don't have a job, you play video games all day, and when you live with your mom, you're a fucking loser. Yep. If you're a girl and you're unemployed and you sleep around and you're putting booty pics on Instagram, fucking loser. The problem is we're not calling women losers. This is why they don't have... And Myron, you're 100% correct. If a man is inadequate, the world lets us know very, very quickly. If a man is a loser... we know we're losers. That's what, that's why we have more motivation. There are so many women who are losers who have no idea that they're losers. Why else do you think they're not changing?
Yeah. I mean, when you don't get real world consequences for your deficiencies, there's no incentive to improve the deficiency. And I would argue that since feminism, since like the real push for women's suffrage and feminism, which I would mark in the 1960s, since then, we haven't really been honest and adamant about getting women to improve through shame. We really don't. If anything, I would argue we've done everything in our power to limit shame and stop it. Right. We've done everything to kind of reinforce bad behavior versus we haven't necessarily we haven't done that with men. Right. And I think shame and telling people that they're losers and letting them know that there are objective L's, is very important for the thriving of a society. But we kind of have this whole participation trophy mindset right in the West, especially when it comes to women, where we don't tell them that they're losers. We need to go ahead and let women know, look, if you're 30 years old and you don't have a serious counterpart, right, whether it's a serious boyfriend, a fiance, a marriage, something, if you reach 30 years old and you don't have a serious male counterpart, while simultaneously knowing that the dating marketplace is significantly easier for women, you're a fucking loser.
That's right.
How do you play the game on easy mode and still lose to the final boss? When you have all the power-ups, you have all the fucking cheat codes, you got the Game Shark, and you still lose to the final boss. Like, that's unacceptable. Because that, quite frankly, is what modern women have. They have all the social advantages. They have all the protections. They have all the rights. They have all the privileges. They're able to. They get the benefits of both. They get the benefits of egalitarian society, which I would argue we have an egalitarian society nowadays, right? They get the benefits of that while simultaneously still being able to enjoy female privilege. It's fucking crazy. And the fact that I'm one of the few people that calls this shit out on the internet because everyone is too cucked to admit this shit, right? Yep. I'm even harder on it. We need standards for females. Look, 30 years old, no husband, no fiance, you're a fucking loser. No one cares about your degree. No one cares about your education. No one cares about these masculine achievements. Because if I walked around and I said I'm a handsome ass nigga, man, look at me, I got like 1,000 Gucci wallets, no one would give a fuck. I would still be an objective loser because I haven't done what I'm supposed to do in my masculine journey. And we tend to not let women understand that they have a feminine journey. And the journeys are completely different. They diverge. They're not the same. If a woman walks the warrior's journey, the male warrior's journey, and ends up achieving a bunch of masculine achievements, career, title, respect, accolades, whatever, cool. That's awesome for you. But objectively speaking, as a female, you're a loser. Just like if I'm a guy and I decide I'm not going to go to school, I'm not going to pursue entrepreneurship, I'm not going to get a trade, I'm not going to be a higher earner, I'm not going to go ahead and get in the gym, etc., and I'm going to choose instead to focus on being a great baker, right? Oh man, I'm one of the best fucking cookie makers ever. Well, I'm a fucking loser. Why?
Right.
Because I haven't achieved, right, the prerequisites to put myself in a position as a respectable man, because as a man, we have different goals than a woman. So we need to go back to letting people understand that there are objective losses, right? Depending on who you are. But we live in this fucking crazy ass politically correct world where we've blended the genders so much that no one actually has real goals. This is why a majority, right, of women nowadays are experiencing some type of fucking anxiety or a depression or feel unfulfilled, because we've sold them this lie that there's no such thing as a loser. There's no such thing as being a failure. Whatever you choose to do, it's fine. And we don't have objective markers of success. Well, guess what? There's objective markers of success for men. But for some odd reason, since the 1960s, we've decided to lose those objective markers for females. That's why we got bitches coming on this show, divorced 3 times, 4 baby daddies, bunch of kids, bastards, right? But she wants to sit there and say, well, I'm a success because I got a job. Fuck out of here. No, you don't. You're not successful. You're an L. But no one tells her.
Look, man, if you are a woman in your 30s, if you're a woman in your 30s, and just like you said, Myron, and you don't have a significant other, if you don't have a serious boyfriend, fiance, or you're not married, you are a failure as a female. Okay, spinster women are failures as females. They spent their entire lives getting, flown out, blown out, and thrown out, sleeping around, living their hoe phase, and then they end up at 46 with no kids, childless, blah blah blah. You are a failure as a human being. And the funny thing is, Myron, is that women inherently understand that. Why else do you think that the most miserable, the stereotype, the archetype of the most miserable woman most miserable people in America, there was a study on this, is a 42-year-old woman, unmarried, who's a lawyer? Okay, wait a minute, Donovan. She's accomplished something. She's a lawyer. Doesn't mean shit. Because men, as you always say, Myron, men, we derive pleasure and satisfaction in accomplishing things. Women derive pleasure in the relationships they make, being able to acquire a husband and having a family. If you, as a woman, ends up without a family, or if you're a baby mama and not married, or if you're a spinster, you have failed at life. Period.
Yeah. And we don't have objective measurements of success and failure because we're too concerned with people's feelings. I mean, we have objective measurements for men, right? Yep. Like, you can still pick on a guy and say, oh, you don't got a job, you're a fucking bum. You live with your mom, you're a loser. But we don't have these same objective measurements for women because we've allowed women to adopt masculine traits. We've allowed women to enter the workforce. We've allowed women to behave like men, right? And we go ahead and we attribute masculine successes to women as W's, and I would argue it's not. If anything, I would say the masculine successes that they do achieve are actually counterproductive.
Absolutely. To
the feminine achievements that they need to achieve to actually feel fulfillment. If we're going to be all the way 1,000, because we know for every dollar that she earns, she's going to want a man that makes about 56% more of that. So what ends up happening when she ends up making this money? Well, guess what? Her ability to acquire, right, to meet, attract, and retain the man that she wants, the chances drop off precipitously as she earns more money.
There you go.
But we don't have these difficult discussions because we're more concerned with making women feel good versus telling them what is good. Right. And what is good is that you need to fucking understand the more you become successful, the lower the likelihood a man that you want is going to want you back.
Dude, I've said that for years. The more status, the more money, the more accomplishments, the further she climbs up the corporate ladder, the further she shrinks her pool of potential suitors. It's a tale as old as time itself. And women don't realize this until it's way too late. It's a shame.
No, it's really bad. And the reason why is because information like this is censored.
There you go.
What?
There you go.
This awareness has really been a thing. Like, it's been around for decades. So people understand. Like, this RP awareness thing has been around since the fucking 90s, man. Like, there's forums on this shit. However, it's really only blown up, I would say, since 2020. when we hit the scene, Andrew Tate, etc., we've kind of mainstreamed it, right? But they did everything in their power to suppress this information for obvious reasons. Shadow banning it, banning videos, demonetization, etc. They don't want this information getting out there because they look at it like, oh my God, well, this is hate speech, blah, blah, blah. Is it really hate speech? Is it really hate speech if it's the truth? Right? And that's
the way they see it.
And that's the problem. Again, this is another issue where this is another byproduct of allowing women to be in positions of power in the marketplace of ideas. Well, they're going to interpret things through their feelings, right? Hate speech, contrary to what people think, is still protected speech under the First Amendment, right? And sometimes you need to hear uncomfortable speech to wake the fuck up. And that's where we are now, where I got to say things that are considered ridiculous or wild or far right to get people's attention, to get them, look, there's a problem. We've shifted so fucking far left that you need someone like me to come back far right to bring things back in the center and make it sensible. That's how crazy we've gotten now. Where
this is how it is, man.
Where we've brainwashed modern women into thinking that just behave like a man and you'll be happy. No.
Oh, God, yeah.
That is the recipe for success. If I told men, just behave like a woman, go ahead and go find a woman that's going to take care of you, right? Don't focus on making money. Don't focus on going to the gym and being strong. Don't focus on being a provider. Just focus on finding a woman that's going to take care of you. I would argue that most men would probably end up depressed, sad, and fucked.
100%.
So don't sit there and tell me now that, oh, well, women are happy. No, they're not. A lot of them are very sad and angry because they've been lied to. Because if I reverse the roles and I put men in this situation and told them to behave like women, they would be fucking depressed. And a lot of them are. Because we tell them it's okay for them to just participate. Why do we have all these sad boys? Why do we have all these depressed men? It's because we tell them, right, that how they feel is more important than the reals. We don't tell them that your merit is significantly important to your ability to be happy as a man. Show me a guy that's making a bunch of money, that's going to the gym, that's killing it in life, that's fucking depressed. Very few.
Crickets.
Very fucking few. Depression is a healthy response to inadequacy.
Ooh.
Right?
Wow.
It is. And it's good. Depression is fucking good. I said it. You need it sometimes to kick you in the ass to make you realize, damn, I'm a fucking loser. Whacking off to porn every single day. I don't have any money. My mom supports me. I can't support myself. I'm a fucking loser and I'm depressed. Good, motherfucker. That's God's way of telling you that you're a piece of shit and you need to bring things up. But why do we not do that for women? Why do we not do that for them? Why do we not sit there and like, hey, you got a career, but you don't have a family. You don't have kids. You're sleeping every night by yourself, drinking fucking wine to stave off the pain that you're a fucking loser. Why don't we do this for women? Because I find it interesting that if a man behaved like a woman, he'd probably feel sad. Well, guess what? There's a bunch of women that behave like men that they're sad too. And we don't tell them the truth. Hey, bitch, you're sad because you haven't fulfilled your feminine requirements, which is to have a family and have a man that actually gives a shit about you. That's what matters, not your fucking career. Not one person gives a fuck and says, damn, man, I got with her because she's a doctor. Nobody, bro. Nobody gives a fuck. But we lie. We tell them prioritize your career over a family. And then by the time they wake up and realize, oh, shit, I do want a family. Too late, bitch. 37 years old.
It's over.
It's cooked. Cooked.
And I agree with you. Depression is God or nature's way of telling you that you fucked up. Why else do you think that all these hoes out here are depressed? It's because you're not supposed to be it's because you're not supposed to be fucking random niggas until you're 30, 35, until you finally decide to jump off the cock carousel and take life and relationships seriously. It is why 25% of modern women are either on anti-anxiety or anti-depression medications or some combination of both.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just, it's interesting because when you look at it from the male perspective, like this all makes sense and it's common sense and sensible. But if I go ahead and say, okay, well, let's put the shoe on the other foot. If a woman behaves like a man, she's probably going to be depressed too. Because I'll tell you this, no fucking red-blooded male, right, is going to sit there and be happy while trying to pursue a woman that's going to pay his bills. Like, no guy's going to do that. So why the fuck do we tell women, right, to chase being successful and a career? That's not fulfilling to them. Just like it's not fulfilling for us to go ahead and chase a woman that's going to pay our bills. Number one, it's not feasible. It's not going to happen.
No, hell no.
And then number two, like you're not doing you're not fulfilling your masculine burden of performance. Just like a woman, you can't attract a man to take you seriously and give you a last name. You're not fulfilling your female burden of performance. It's just that we hide the female burden of performance because we don't want to tell women they're losers. We do everything in our power. We have an entire industry shaped around, profiting by, and established to lie to women under the guise of it's okay so that they can make money. When you lie, like we said before, women buy.
Women buy.
We have an entire economy on lying to females. Don't believe me? Look at some of the most popular fucking dating coaches. Who are they? Matthew
Derek
Hussey,
Jackson,
Derek
Matthew
Jackson,
Hussey,
etc.
yeah.
What the fuck do they do? All they do is lie to women all day. Dr. Raj. Oh yeah, well, you
my
can lose
God,
weight
yeah.
with just put this little cream on you and you lose some weight. Like it's all female marketing is all smoke and mirrors because they would rather hear flattering lies than uncomfortable truths.
Steve Harvey.
And then you
Women
motherfuckers
respond-
like me to go on TikTok and say you bitches are retarded. Oh my God, outrage. They send me fucking message at 2 o'clock in the morning saying I'm a misogynist, but they know I'm telling the truth.
How dare you?
Good.
No, I totally agree. I think women respond to what feels good, right? And I think, listen, I mean, shout out to Madison Avenue because the advertisers out in New York City figured out a long time ago, like you said, when you lie, women buy. Women would rather hear what they want than hear what they need. That's one of the main differences between men and women. Women respond favorably when they hear what they want. They respond adversely when they hear what they need. And it's just like dating here in 2025. Women are only going after the men they want rather than going after the men they need. And there are too many guys who tell women what they want, who tell women what they want to hear instead of telling women what they need to hear.
Yeah, and it's because guys want to sleep with them.
There he is.
So
there it is.
so
And guess what? It works.
Yeah,
it works.
I think men have kind of caught on to solve their reproductive problem and get the sexual access that they want. Being transparent and truthful is not conducive to getting laid. So, Bill Burr, I think famously said this shit. No one tells women to shut up because they want to have sex with them.
Yep,
so there you
that's
go.
right.
So it puts them in a
Interestingly enough,
very...
when you do tell women to actually shut the fuck up, it actually makes them want to sleep with you because you're probably the first guy in her life to tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's a very strange premise in society that we have with when it comes to feminism, modern women, etc. It really is. And again, I mean, I don't want to go too deep into other social issues, but I think people need to understand that the massive push in feminism has led to the degradation of so many other institutions in society that have created problems.
100%.
If you look at any issue in America, you can almost always tie it back to fucking feminism every single time.
Yep.
It's a cancer that's plagued this country. It's a cancer that's plagued the Western world in general, right? It is why the United States is not as powerful as it used to be, where it was undisputed that we were the world fucking power after World War II. But after World War II, what happened? Well, feminism blew up after World War II.
There you go.
After we bombed Japan and let them know who the fucking boss is, and we're the world power, what ended up happening was feminism reared its fucking ugly head. And then next thing you know, now we're getting surpassed by fucking China and Russia and these other countries that we're adversaries with. So
Feminism,
this has geopolitical this has feminism, right? What we're talking about has negative ramifications on other topics. But sorry,
you're
you were saying?
right. Feminism permeates everything. It permeates relationships, the economy, the military, everything. And I would submit this to you. Feminism is the worst thing to happen in the history of the world. It is quite literally destroying the world from the inside out. And we're seeing a result of that right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I did a pod yesterday. For those that are unaware, Meyer Gaines X, where I do way more political commentary. But what I will say, because this kind of aligns with this, is Pete Hegseth, right, the nominee for the Secretary of Defense. They beat him up for saying women shouldn't be in combat roles. This is a guy that served this country. He's been in combat, unlike a lot of the fucking brass up there in Washington, D.C. He was there day to day and understands that women in combat positions might not necessarily be the most conducive to our overall success. And, they grow them on that. They absolutely grow them on it. They said, what are you talking about? You're a misogynist, you're a sexist, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, this is just very common sense that women are inferior to men in almost every physical regard. And quite frankly, the last thing I want is for a woman to be on a fucking battlefield, right? In war, where now she could be taken as a prisoner of war and be used as a political ploy to put us in a very bad diplomatic position. And there's a bunch of reasons why. We're on YouTube, and I don't want to say specifically, but I will say it has to deal with potential rape and a lot of problems. And the example I gave of this, right, where it puts us in an inferior diplomatic position from a negotiating standpoint, is look at Brittany Griner. For those that are unaware, this is a woman, right, a black woman that's a lesbian, WNBA star, ended up getting arrested in Russia for violating the crimes for controlled substance. She had like a weed pen. They put her in jail. Guess what happened? Now we're in a weird diplomatic place because we need to go ahead and negotiate for the betterment of a minority woman that's a lesbian. Who's in office? Fucking Biden. Well, we know that Democrats are extremely sensitive to race issues. So what do? We go ahead and we trade Victor fucking Bout, the merchant of death, the guy that was responsible for tens of thousands of deaths in fucking Africa selling weapons illegally, that was arrested by the feds and convicted. We go ahead and trade him over for Brittany fucking Griner. Why? In the name of political correctness. Right? In the name of, oh, she checks a bunch of boxes, we need to get her back. So we put ourselves in a very weak negotiating position, and we traded someone who's a really bad guy to get back a WNBA player. It was one of the worst trades ever that I've ever seen. And fuck sports. We're talking about real life trades. It was a big fucking L. And this is what I mean. That is a microcosm of a much larger problem, which is feminism. Okay? Like, and now that's just from like that hit the world, that put us in a bad position diplomatically to negotiate that. Now, could you imagine if they go ahead and they have a female prisoner of war, right? And they're using that to negotiate to put us in a bad position? We've seen this before. Israel deals with it all the time. They're doing it right now. They're going ahead and trading like 1,000 Palestinian prisoners for a couple of hostages. Why? Because whenever you have a certain political state, right, or mindset or whatever, especially when you adopt feminism, because you want to go ahead and make things politically correct and nice, what's up happening is you weaken your workforce, you make yourself vulnerable, and then if that person is kidnapped, right, you have to go ahead and negotiate from a position of disadvantage to get that person back to avoid backlash, right? And now with the whole Israel situation, that's a completely different situation. But what I'm trying to explain here is that whenever you're negotiating politically like this, you put yourself in a bad position, right? And now you have to go ahead and have more skin in the game and put yourself in a spot where it's like, damn, well, now we got to give more than they're giving in the pursuit of political correctness versus, this is going to sound dark, but let's say we had only men in the military and they're prisoners of war, right? Though I am big on getting all of our soldiers back, etc., it won't put us in the same dire constraints to negotiate with enemies as it would if we had a female captive. Right. And that puts us in a bad spot.
And you want to know what the worst thing about the Brittany Griner situation was? Before she was captured in Russia, she didn't, dude. So we released we traded the merchant of death for a woman who doesn't even love her country. This woman did her level best.
Took a knee during the anthem.
I'm trying to tell you, but I tell you what, I'll bet she fucking loves America now, doesn't she?
Yeah. And that's an extreme example, but this is what I'm trying to explain, where feminism, right, puts women and fucks shit up and puts us in a precarious situation. So when Pete Hegseth is there testifying and they're trying to obfuscate, say, oh, well, you have these issues with alcohol, blah, 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 and you have these misogynistic views with women. Well, I would agree with him that, look, he doesn't want women in positions in combat because, number one, that puts her in danger, but it also compromises our military, because if she is captured, that is a big fucking W for the adversary, because they will use that in other propaganda to force our hand to negotiate with them, to go ahead and put ourselves in a situation where we're doing a bad trade. We'll be like Israel, trading 1,000 captives, right, for one IDF soldier, like they did back in 2006 with Elad. So that's what I mean when I say that stuff. I use the Israel example, where I'm just saying the point of that example is to show that this is what ends up happening, right, when you have vulnerabilities in the eyes of political correctness.
Right. And this again is how far and wide the scourge of feminism affects everybody. It doesn't just affect relationships. It's affected the family. It's affected the military. It's affected politics. Again, the worst thing to happen in the history of the world is feminism.
Yeah. And I mean, again, we're stringing together, guys, like, obviously, like these womanized frames, right? This is coming from egalitarianism / feminism, but this is kind of, we're walking you guys through as to how this has like long-term negative ramifications in different industries in society. Right?
Yep.
All right, where are we at now? Are we on like the top three, or?
Yeah, we're in the top three. I was gonna wait and do the top three until, if you guys got the chats.
Yeah,
if you want to go through the chats, and then we'll do the top three.
We could do the chats.
Okay, very good.
But yeah, man, everything could be weaved back to that.
That's right. It's to me, it's the common denominator in terms of most of the problems here, especially in America and the West.
Yeah. Yep. And we'll be like Israel now, trading fucking, a bunch of enemy combatants to get back one woman. That was my example when I was trying to string the two together. It puts us in a very bad negotiating place.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because the public outcry for getting back a female prisoner is going to be so large that they can't ignore it. Look at Brittany Griner. She broke the law. She did some stupid shit. But the enormous amount of pressure on the Biden administration to get her back because she's a woman, she's gay, she's lesbian. She fits all this criteria.
She checks off all the boxes.
She checks off all the boxes. It put an enormous amount of pressure on the Biden administration to make a bad deal.
That was not a value for value exchange. That was a value loaded exchange.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Putin walked away with a huge fucking W on that one.
Yes, he did.
Huge.
Yes, he did.
What do we got up next? Sorry, I read these things. Mine, I totally agree with you that you're saying the way modern society has changed, the way women move, and they don't even care about religion anymore. I do think that the only way we can solve this problem is making the church have authority on the influence and culture, again, like it's used to, but I understand that women don't care about that anymore. But what do you think is the best move for Christian devout men in modernity? Bro, I'll tell you this, man, the church has never taken this country back. Too far gone.
No. Mm-mm.
It's never fucking happening, bro. It ain't happening again. White people are going to be the minority in a couple of decades at this rate. So that's because we keep importing people with mass immigration.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
It's going to be brown. W.
Hey, Minor Fresh, have you been watching the podcast? And I have been improving my life since 2022. I was 20 wasting my money on chatterbait. Damn, bro. Because thank you, Bills. Now I can actually read it. I wanted the stimulation of being loved by women for money, and I was broke because of that. But I'm improving because you guys, the haters, don't understand. You guys really help those who lost the way of being better. I love you guys. Yeah, bro. Porn is a debilitating fucking addiction. I'm glad you got over it, and I'm glad that you're here with us on this side.
Chatterbait's a low, though.
Man.
That's a low.
Fresh updates. WFF. Yeah.
That means he spent a lot of money.
Yeah, he said, yeah. Don't forget the infamous I'm just working on myself. Oh, she's all right, working her way towards a plethora new D. That might come up on the list, actually. Ask yourself why the girl always talks about and mentions her ex who's an asshole rather than the ex who's a nice guy. Think about it. Okay,
I already did that. Yep.
We got it? Oh, okay,
no,
Ken Rose,
I already did that. Yeah. My ex is such an asshole. The reason why she talks about her ex is such an asshole is because and it's not even about her ex being an asshole. A lot of times, and this is why asshole behavior works with modern women. It's because oftentimes it's the only real masculinity they're privy to. And when you run up on a guy who's actually willing to tell you no, and you're going to do as I say, and I'm the leader, oh my God, you're such an asshole. No, it's called masculinity. And that's why they always talk about their asshole boyfriend, because that's the one guy who is masculine.
Yeah. Yeah. That was it? Ken Rose had a thumbs up. I saw that.
Hey, good for him.
Block Party says, been watching since day one. Thanks, Jensen Donovan is a fucking legend. I got y'all, man. We giving you guys a good episode here, helping you guys cook, getting back to the fresh and fit roots. Don't think just because, I cover some politics here and there that I forgot of anything. I think it's like strengthened a lot of my positions because I see the negative ramifications of how feminism is permeated and quite effectively poisoned a lot of geopolitical things, and the Brittany Griner one is a perfect example of that. That is an example of feminism becoming and political correctness coming back to bite us in the ass and making us have to kowtow to an adversary in Russia. Putin walked away from that like a fucking genius, man.
Yes, he did.
What else do we got here? Myron, you're giving too much sauce. Save it for the ladies. All right, Alcosa. Men who aren't aware of this and don't control their relationship and women will be controlled by their women's sexuality, and a man who's controlled by women is a puppet just like all women in society. Yeah, I know, bro. But guys, it's actually pathetic how women like kind of just string guys along and they just follow. Black Experience, the reality is that women relinquish their power, sex, as feminism gained foothold in culture. Now they attempt to force men to relinquish their relationships through social manipulation. Absolutely. Good point. Yep. Black Panther. What's up next?
That's it.
That was it? Okay.
Right. Number 4 or 3?
Okay, no, we are on the top 3 of the top 10 phrases that women use to deceive men. And so phrase number 3, and you guys often hear this on the after hours, is I want to get married someday. Let's take a look and listen.
Oh boy.
I want to get married someday.
I do want to get married.
after I fucked at least 100 guys.
Every woman wants to get married. It is a symbol of her inherent value as a woman. A man chose her to spend the rest of his life with and to start a family with. But today's women aren't interested in marriage when their value is at its peak. But then they wonder why high-value men don't want to wife them up in their mid to late 30s.
Yeah, this one's actually kind of comical. It's kind of funny because I think of all the times you guys have had girls on and you talk about, I remember I was actually here for one of those. You talk about what age they want to get married. And to a woman, it's always, I want to wait till I'm like 30 or 32 to get married. The reason they want to wait until they're in their 30s is because they want to be a hoe while their value is at the highest. Then they wonder why the men they want don't take them seriously. No woman who is serious about marriage will ever say, I want to get married someday. Someday clearly implies way off in the distant future. Never forget that, gentlemen.
Yeah. And guys, just so you guys know, we only got 867 likes, but we got like 6,000 you guys watching between Rumble and YouTube. So guys, like the video because you guys like this video. This might get out in front of someone and recommend it. It might save their fucking life because let's be honest, there's someone right now, as we're speaking, that has heard one of these phrases from a female and doesn't know what the fuck she means and is painting themselves in a very bad light. So if we can get this video out to someone so they can learn this shit, let me know because there's, like the video because there's not many people that speak about this shit on the internet at all, like whether it's us, Donovan, a couple of guys, but we're still, in our own corner of the internet. I agree with you, Donovan, on this situation. Simply put, women are not incentivized to look for a man and get a man when their value is at its highest. We teach women to not consolidate when the chips are up. We tell them to gamble in the casino and stay as long as they can. And try to get a big payout at the end when they're significantly down. We tell women to basically gamble with their life, and that's where we are. We tell them, hey, put off the husband, put off the relationship, put off the children, put off the family until you have everything else secure, and then you could go ahead and pursue it, not knowing that what they're doing is wasting valuable time where their peak is higher and they can negotiate for a higher status and more attractive man in their youth. But we don't tell them this because this is considered misogynistic or fucked up or, old-fashioned, outdated, whatever fucking pejorative term you want to use to demonize traditionalism, which is what the left always does. We lie to women and tell them not to. We literally tell them, go to the casino, have fun. The chips are going to be down. And when they're down, try to go ahead and throw a fucking Hail Mary and see that you could beat the house. And it's not, right? The smart girl goes into the casino, $1,000 up, gets to her first table, wins $1,000, is up 1,000, and leaves right there, cashes out.
There it is.
But most women have this gambling mindset. Oh no, I play at the first table, I won 1,000, cool, I'm gonna keep going. Wins at the next two tables, now she's up like 3,000. And then the table after that, she loses 4,000, so she's negative. Now she's got to fucking, get herself back up. And next thing you know, she's going between fucking roulette tables, crab tables, whatever the fuck it may be. I'm not a gambler, but the point I'm trying to make is that they're going from table to table to table to table. Next thing you know, 10 years passes, 15 years passes, 20 years passes. They're negative 40, and they're trying to fucking, hit one time to get to make $1 million when it's not going to fucking happen.
I'll put it to you like this, Myron. Check this out. Women win the lottery when they're born. Okay, women are, and we hear this all the time. Men, we have to build value. Women simply have to preserve it. And the minute she walks into that casino, she loses. Why? Because the house always wins. There is no way, if we're going to make the casino versus dating analogy, there are no wins for a woman in the casino of dating. Every single body she catches, she loses more and more money. When a woman is 18 years old, she's got her lottery winnings. You walk into that casino even one time and your value instantly drops. You spend your 20s riding that carousel, and as you ride that carousel, your winnings are dwindling more and more and more. And then on the back end, when you turn 30, you don't even have the money to gamble anymore. So I wouldn't even say that it's a gamble to go into the casino. When women walk into the casino of dating, they're already taking an L because there's nothing they can do to really win anything. Every time they sleep with a man, their value goes down. There's no way that a woman can increase her value by sleeping with another man. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, and most girls are not going to have the ability and the discernment, and most importantly, the discipline to play at the first table, win 1,000, and then leave at that point.
Get the fuck out.
They keep playing, and that's the fucking problem.
There you go.
That's literally what it is they keep playing. All right.
We can go to number 2.
Yeah, we can go to number 2. Guys, like the video, by the way. You guys are getting a lot of sauce right now. We're talking about womanese, decoding phrases for you guys. Talking about the long-standing issues with feminism, tying it to even to fucking geopolitics. So, guys, like the video.
Yeah, very
what's
good.
up
Very
next?
good. Way to tie this to geopolitics because it's absolutely true. Okay, so the number 2 phrase that women use to deceive men, especially in relationships, is "I'm not that person anymore." Let's take a look and listen.
I am not that person anymore. I'm still that person, just not with you.
This goes back to getting butt fucked and swallowing random loads. If a woman likes you enough, she'll let you do whatever you want to her. If she doesn't, she won't. And she'll use this excuse to get out of taking it in the ass or getting a protein shake.
Okay, now as comical as that is, it is absolutely 245% true. Girls who say, "I'm not that person anymore," they are telling you that they are that person, but only for the right men, the guys they want to fuck. I'm here to tell you guys, if you're into some freaky shit and she really likes you, she will do whatever freaky shit you want her to do. If she doesn't want to do freaky shit and she uses the excuse, "I'm not that person anymore," she is telling you that you're not the kind of guy who, in her mind, warrants the privilege of being your personal porn star. Gentlemen, you should never have to talk your girl into giving you a blowjob. If you do, you ain't the one she wants, period.
Yeah. I mean, this is, see, sometimes I have to kind of like go backwards a little bit and understand that this RP awareness, right? We talk about this so fluently and it's like so simple and we just get it. But, for regular guys listening to this is extreme, right? Like us saying that you shouldn't be negotiating sexuality with your wife is foreign to a lot of guys. It's like we're talking fucking Chinese to them or something. Like, hey, bro, you shouldn't be negotiating hooking up with your wife. What do you mean? We have a deal. I take out the trash on Thursday. She has sex with me on Saturday. That's how relationships work. It's called a compromise. Dude, if you're having to use the word compromise with your wife, you already lost.
Oh, God.
Right? Like, let's make this explicitly fucking clear.
Over.
The liberals can go ahead and clip this. If you're compromising with your woman, you already lost because the compromise assumes that you guys are equal. And assuming that you guys are equal is step 1 to the fucking loss that you're going to inevitably suffer when you deal with your girl. Because women have a very great way of dealing with men that are equal. They get rid of them. Rid of them. Equality, egalitarianism, it doesn't work. Just like communism, Marxism, it doesn't work. Sounds great on paper. We're all equal. Woo! But that's just not how the world works. Everything is based on meritocracy. And the only way you're going to keep your girl is to maintain that meritocracy, which is what? You're superior to her in every way. And when I say this shit, it comes off as extreme, comes off as rash, comes off as crass, whatever. Yep. But the reality is you guys got to get this through your fucking head. If you're compromising with your girl, that assumes equality. If you guys are equal, that's the beginning of the fucking end. It's over. You're over here negotiating to get a BJ by taking out the trash? You're cooked.
Dude, you're done.
And this is why so many modern men are in fucking terrible marriages, terrible relationships. Their woman doesn't fucking respect them. You walk into a Target. It's common now where you could go into a department store and you'll see a woman berating a man and it's just, just another fucking Sunday. She dragged his ass to Target to go pick up some fucking towels, and she's yelling at him saying he's a fucking idiot with the kids there, and we just walk by like, just her, like completely just shitting on her man. And it's completely socially acceptable. It's completely acceptable for a woman to smack a man up his head. It's completely acceptable for her to call him an idiot, for her to talk shit to him. And this has been going on, right, since the fucking 90s, I would argue. Right? You can make an argument earlier, but sitcoms like Friends, Seinfeld, Family Matters, etc., depicting the man as a bumbling fucking retard that can't necessarily control the household, and the woman is the one that knows everything, even with the Huxtables, right?
Yes.
Bill Cosby, his wife is some fucking lawyer, he's a doctor, but for some odd fucking reason, she's over here as the patriarch in the household, the voice of reason. And this has been going on for decades. Like, I need you guys to fucking open your eyes, open your brain, and realize that we've been indoctrinated to be fucking pussies for the better part of the last 30 to 40 years. Then they've been fucking getting you guys hook, line, and fucking sinker to become weak, feeble-minded, idiotic men. Then guys like me, Andrew Tate come around, Donovan Sharpe, etc., and this is considered, oh my God, this is extremist. They're telling men to be men and be leaders in relationships and be dominant and, take responsibility for their household and for their women. No, I'm teaching you guys how to have your woman be fucking happy where you're not sitting there negotiating, taking out the fucking trash on a Thursday so you get a blowjob on a Saturday. This is where we are in America, and this is fucking terrible.
unbelievable, man. I think there's like a fake holiday called Steak and Blowjob Day as sort of a response to Valentine's Day. To me, that's the equivalent of the man cave.
You know,
it's ridiculous. A man should never have a man cave, like a little nook in the house where it just no. My man cave is my fucking house. My house is my goddamn man cave. My woman has to live in it. That's the way it goes.
And we live in such a cucked ass society that there's entire YouTube channels and genres where what they do is they come in and they attack guys like me, like Donovan, like T, like Rollo Tomasi, etc. They come in and they call it toxic masculine content. Red pill is this, red pill is that, blah, blah, blah. It's nothing more than the truth. Anus and Reach wants you guys to be getting something in your anus and getting a reach around. That's what they want for you guys. They don't want you guys being leaders. They don't want you guys going to the gym. They don't want you guys to be as masculine and dominant. That's why they go ahead and try to bastardize our message and say, these guys are just extreme misogynists, blah, blah. Because to them, in their cucked out minds, they don't see a problem with society. It's fine. Everyone's equal. It's good. Nothing wrong here. House on fucking fire. Alarms going on. Holy shit. It's okay. No problem. We're all good. And that's what they do. All these fucking YouTubers that react to our shit and try to paint us as toxic masculinity and blah, blah, blah. Like, we're warning you guys. Yo, they've been fucking psyoping you for multiple decades, multiple generations. We need to stand up and become fucking men again, or else we're going to lose our fucking country. We're going to lose our fucking status, and we're going to be fucked. And they're sitting here saying, oh, no, these guys are just toxic and masculine. They're extremists. Don't worry about it. They're part of the fucking problem. There's nothing. You guys think feminism is the problem? The real problem are cucks that sit there and criticize guys for telling you to be a fucking man. Anus and Reach will sit there and tell you, no, just it's okay, bro. Negotiate for a blowjob with your wife. You're like, go ahead, it's cool. Like,
pay for sex.
You get it. Yeah, they pay for sex. Get a blowjob on Saturday after you take out the trash on Thursday. And that is quite frankly one of the biggest problems. We have cucked out fucking men, right? Keeping men from being men, and then they go ahead and become these cucks that they say, no, do this, women like that. And then guess what ends up happening? The women leave them anyway.
There you go.
They leave them anyway because they don't have a fucking spine.
Listen, man, the more men wake up to red pill awareness, that's bad. Listen, the red pill is bad business. The red pill is bad for business over there at Anus and Reach. That's why they encourage. Like, if men actually understood their value, they wouldn't watch guys like Abba and Preach. This is why Abba and Preach are constantly preaching this message. It's a business decision, is what it is. It's obvious.
Yeah, you make far more money by being a centrist and being in the middle.
Damn right.
Right? And getting the female market share than by telling the truth and saying, yo, this is what it is. So they have no incentive to actually have you guys self-improve and actually understand that we are in a state of fucking emergency. We are in a state of emergency when it comes to, we got marriage rates plummeting, divorce rates fucking sky high, birth rates are all fucking terrible. We have to import more illegal aliens and more immigration to fix it, but they don't have the ability to understand that this is a fucking problem. Why? Because they live in failed-ass Canada. Canada's already gone. All right, I'm trying to save America. And if we're going to save America, we need to bring back masculinity. We need to bring back fathers and households. We need to bring back the nuclear family. We need to bring back men that understand that there is a responsibility on them to be the providers and the protectors for their households, and their wife has kids. Now, if a woman wants to work, that's fine, but it's got to be on a minimal basis, and the kids got to come first. But we don't have that shit anymore. We got these losers coming and saying, oh, these guys are just toxically masculine men. They're misogynists. Let's go ahead and do a reaction video, make fun of them, and go ahead and have our moral high horse because we believe in egalitarianism. Fuck you. You're a part of the fucking problem. You're the idiot watching Family Guy thinking, yeah, being Peter Griffin, a fat fucking loser, right? Where Lois is the one deciding how things go. That's something I want to emulate. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and be fucking Carl Winslow. Our wife telling us what the fuck to do. And we're getting in strange arguments with some fucking weirdo nerd that can't get my daughter. Oh, well, no, hold on. Let's be like Cliff Huxtable, right? Let's go ahead and be a bumbling fucking idiot despite the fact that you're supposed to be a fucking doctor listening to your lawyer-ass wife that doesn't know shit. That's what's been going on for the past 30 to 40 years, and everyone's been psyoped to fucking sleepwalking like a fucking, I don't know what's going on, like a fucking retard, not to know that they're quietly and slowly ripping your masculinity away from you, and then they're telling you that you're an idiot for wanting it back. And these YouTube channels that talk shit about this stuff, positive masculinity, are part of the fucking problem. Moist Critical, Anus and Reach, Philion, all these pussyified motherfuckers that don't go to the gym, don't exercise, look like fucking shit. Testosterone is probably 21, right? That are fucking sodomites. They're over here trying to tell you guys, hey, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Equality is great. Let's be inclusive. Let's bring everybody in. Yeah. Don't be a fucking asshole. Your girl's equal to you, man. Go ahead and compromise. No, that's a part of the fucking issue. They tell you not to be men. They tell you don't chase success. They tell you some bullshit. Oh, it's okay. Nothing is going on. Nothing's wrong.
Right.
There's a lot wrong. A lot wrong. And until someone fucking comes out and says it like us, you guys aren't going to wake up because they make money keeping you sleepwalking. They make money telling you don't go to the gym. They make money telling you, oh, be diplomatic and compromise with your girlfriend. They make money by telling you these fucking lies. Because guess what? You know what's bad for the fucking economy? A guy that has a spine that says, no, bitch, I'm not taking you to the movies. You haven't earned it. Every kiss begins with K. Not today. You haven't earned it. Right? Oh, you want me to take you on an expensive steak fucking dinner? No. That's not how this goes. Guys like us are bad for the fucking economy.
That's right.
So they're incentivized to keep you cucked, stupid, and believe in egalitarianism when it comes to women. I'm here to wake you motherfuckers up. Things need to change. If we're going to take our fucking country back, the revolution is going to be led by men, not women. Okay?
Okay.
So you guys got to wake up, man. Fucking crazy.
There's an article recently about married couples and negotiating sex. Actually, Sterling did a video covering this extensively. And this is the article right here. How partners should negotiate sex in a relationship. This is crazy, by the way.
Please tell me this is not true.
No, it's 100% true. This is actually a thing where they have to negotiate when to have sex, how hard it's going to be, and if the person likes it. This is actually real life. And it's funny because this is actually an example of, in real time, asking a woman for a blowjob. But 10 times more. But this is real, bro. It's real. So
incredible. And any man who look, if you're having to negotiate sex in a relationship, that relationship has been over.
It's over.
It's been over. Ay. Okay. We can move to the number one. You guys want to go ahead and move to the number one phrase that women use to deceive men in relationships?
Yeah, we can do it.
All right. So the number one phrase that women use to deceive men in relationships is, I've never felt this way before. Here we go.
I've never felt this way before. I want to make you feel special, but you're not.
Women will say whatever they have to make you feel special or unique. This is one of the many obvious statements they make in an attempt to make you think that you are somehow different or special from other guys.
Okay, so one of my books in my course catalog is called The 28 Laws of Sharpe. And in that book, specifically, law number 28 states that you will never be a woman's biggest, best, first, or only. In other words, you are not special. She wants you to think she thinks you're special because she knows that the male ego is the cheat code in these particular cases. Foolishly thinking, gentlemen, that you think that she can't get from anyone else what she gets from you, that is going to lead to some serious heartbreak. And the reason for this is that because if she successfully convinces you that she thinks you're somehow special or unique, she knows that you will allow her to engage in behaviors that put your relationship at risk, because you'll think, nah, she won't cheat on me with her ex. I'll go ahead and let them be friends. She's never felt this way before. Guys, I'm telling you right now, never, ever, ever allow a woman to convince you that she thinks that you are somehow unique or special, because once that happens, it is all downhill from there. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, this is where that discernment comes in, and understanding just, they're incentivized to sell you purity there, because by them, and the other thing too, that's kind of like a undercover thing with why they say that, is I've never felt this way before, is to assume as a novelty. And we understand as men, novelty typically is tied to purity to some degree. Oh, she hasn't experienced this before, it's with me. Wow, that's awesome. Because men really do enjoy being the first to teach a woman something, show a woman something, etc. We have an interest in novelty and them not being ran through, right? Like that's a big thing for men. So by her saying I've never felt this way before, it infers novelty, which is something that men are very interested in when it comes to our attraction, which interestingly enough, it's the inverse for women. Novelty from a male perspective is actually looked at as unattractive for women, because you are supposed to be the experienced, the leader, etc. Novelty for men is a problem. This is why, as a man, you have no problem with taking a woman's virginity away, or a woman that's sexually inexperienced. However, a woman is going to feel a very wrong about taking your virginity away or you not being experienced. We're not the same, right? And again, we live in this fucking ridiculous society where we try to sit there and say that we're equal and everything is egalitarian. But I find it interesting when it comes to sexual attractiveness, roles between the genders, etc. We are diametrically opposed in almost every way, right? But they don't want you to understand that because it reveals unflattering realities about men and women. Now, the unflattering realities about women, about men, that's not censored. Nobody cares. Men are dogs. They're assholes. They'll fuck anything that moves. We are okay with that. But as soon as I say, well, you know, women are going to sell purity. A lot of them are ran through, but they're going to sell you as if they're not ran through, etc. They're going to sell this novelty to you. That's a problem. That's an issue. That's hate speech. That's censored. That's problematic. That's toxic. You get simps on YouTube that, you know, are anti-masculine content saying that these guys are extreme. And they try to take away the potency of the information, but it is very true that men value novelty while women disdain it.
Yeah,
no,
I would argue that a lot of guys don't get gifts, don't get told that they're handsome, that they look good. For example, they don't get told that they're actually like somebody of value. So when a girl says to you, "Oh, this is the first time I've ever done this before," wink, wink, or "You're so special," it's because trying to manipulate you in not so many words. And as a result, most guys are going to fall for it because they never had that ever in their life. And she's like, you know what? This guy's actually going to fall for this. I'm going to see what I can do and get away with. And if you fall for it, like Donovan said earlier, you can start doing things that are more along her, I want to say, leadership roles. For example, you're allowed to do certain things that she shouldn't be doing because you're like, you know what? She's not going nowhere. She loves me. And as a result, you kind of weaken your stances and your protocol for how you normally handle women. So, in a nutshell, guys, you're not special. Someone's been before you. Someone may be after you. But in the sense of you being you, there's no other person other than you. So that's right. I would say if you're the prize in your eyes, then that's all that matters. But ultimately, her saying that may have some actually truth to it, but the long-term effects of it are still trying to manipulate you in the short term.
Very, very good. All right. So I'm gonna play a video that just sort of encapsulates the Womanese course as a whole. And I think a lot of you will sort of I think a lot of you will understand what this encapsulates. So this is just a short video just to kind of tell you guys what Womanese is all about. Here we go. Womanese 101 is a revolutionary, one-of-a-kind guide that translates female communication with shocking accuracy. It is quite literally the cheat code that every man needs to date successfully, both short and long term. With well over 600 translations, Womanese will take your dating and relationship game to the next dimension. And make no mistake, modern women do not want you to have this information. Why? Because it shifts the advantage to you. You see, gentlemen, low-quality women thrive on male ignorance. The fact that most men take what women say at face value makes it very easy for women to trick them into thinking they're quality women. Well, with Womanese, you will quickly see right through any woman's attempt at misleading you into thinking she's a good girl when she's actually quite the opposite. Womanese 101 has completely changed the lives of tens of thousands of men worldwide. Since its release, my inbox is inundated with countless stories and testimonies that are directly attributed to the material they learned from Womanese. What's more is that every one of these translations will be in video and audio format, so you can watch at your leisure or listen on the go. And that's one thing that is very, very important, okay? That is one thing that's very, very important. What we have done for this particular special is we're not just going to, you're not just going to have access to the video course. You're going to have access to the audio course, and you're going to get all 5 volumes of the books of Womanese. This will help you. This will help this information to stick. And it's interesting. Once you are fluent in Womanese, what will begin to sort of indirectly happen is you will almost see the subtitles, like, at the bottom. Like if you're on a date with a woman and she says, "I haven't been in a relationship in 3 years," you will see in subtitles in your mind is, "I've been fucking random niggas for the last 3 years." And so last but not least, I'm going to play some of the video and the audio testimonials from Womanese, and this is from volumes 1 through 5. Take a look and listen.
The last, 3 or 4 girlfriends, they've all cheated on me, and I was always kind of surprised when I found out.
I thought she was separated. He told me she had her own place. Come to find out, she was still married. I couldn't believe it. She kept trying to have unprotected sex with me.
At first, she told me she was happily married, but she still gave me her number, which was a little confusing.
She told me, don't worry, I'm on the pill.
If you're happily married, why are you giving me your number?
I'd hear them say things like, I've been single for a year, or, oh, I haven't had a serious relationship in like forever.
I don't want kids, she said.
Then her husband found out about this.
And finally, she wore me down.
He came to my job. He was pissed, and I don't blame him. I would be too.
She told me she was pregnant. Turns out I wasn't the father because she'd been sleeping with 2 other guys. I was relieved, but I was also devastated. I mean, she cheated on me. I was happy not to be the father, but she cheated on me.
She lied to me the whole time.
She lied.
She lied about everything.
I got Womanese Volume 2 last summer, and it changed everything.
I jumped on Womanese the first day.
I bought Volume 2. I went halves on it with a friend of mine.
I think I was the third guy.
I finally understood why the same things kept happening with women.
This knowledge is so valuable.
Finally, the answers to all my questions.
It's like having their playbook.
They can't fool me anymore.
And you know what plays they're gonna run and when they're gonna run them.
They can't lie to me anymore.
The woman I'm dating now likes to say, you're like the woman whisperer.
I was on a date the other day, and the girl says to me, oh, I'm only on one dating app. And I asked her which one. She said Hinge. I kept quiet because we matched on Tinder.
I'm dating 2 girls right now, working on a 3rd.
I'm seeing a couple of good-looking girls. They know about each other. Guys, you have to get this course.
Thank you for doing this course. You changed my life, man.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much. Thank Donovan. Thank you, Donovan, for opening my eyes.
Donovan, thank you.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah, it's yeah, man, I take tremendous pride in the fact that, you know, my books, courses, Womanese, et cetera, has really helped to change the lives of men for the better, man. It gives me an enormous sense of satisfaction, especially when I get approached on the street. I get recognized. I mean, even though I'm a nobody, I still get recognized everywhere I go. It's actually still quite surreal. It's not something that I think I'll ever get used to, but I think Womanese is probably, this is the only course of its kind that really just sort of puts the raw and honest truth out there. Every other, and listen, there are other what she says versus what she means. It's not as raw and real as this. And this is why there are 625 translations, because just like you say, the game never stops, man. So that's Womanese in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, and for a lot of you smart guys, right, that, because I've noticed with like engineers, guys that are mathematically superior, they tend to have issues with this because they actually take it face value. They take women's word at face value, which is a huge mistake that a lot of guys make. You know, guys, it's a flash sale. It's out right now. You guys get a discount with getting it through us. If you don't have the money for it, no problem. We just want to give you guys the value. I think we gave you guys 10 phrases for free, and with a bunch of, you know, background explanation as to why. So we'll probably run it for what, 24 to 48 hours, I'm thinking?
Yeah, that's fine.
For you guys, we'll keep it open
also,
with this
we got
discount.
a code FNF24.
FNF24.
$100 off.
$100 off. So use that code, guys, when you check out. Link is below. FNF24, knock off $100. Get this thing. And yeah, man, I think for any guy that's like kind of getting their feet wet or trying to understand and decode, I mean, 625 is fucking wild. That's a lot of phrases, man. So guys, you know, get in there, man. I mean, I think it's 100% worth it. You know what I mean? It's you know, you might be able to, because I guarantee you right now with the woman that you're dealing with where you're confused, if you get this thing, you will probably be able to decode some things that she's saying that you don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Listen, you know, it's interesting. I get a lot of messages in my inbox and testimonials. Womanese has not only improved the dating lives of thousands of men, but it has also ended relationships, because guys, when they get their hands on Womanese, they're like, wait a minute, I remember when the woman that I was dating told me X, Y, and Z. She told me she had her own place, and I remember when I saw Womanese, that means, you know, if a woman has her own place, that means it means that she's an even bigger slut than a woman who has roommates or lives with her parents. So, you know, again, listen, the fact of the matter is, guys, is that you can't really put a price on knowledge like this. We always say the best investment you can make is investing in yourself. And as we all say, knowledge is power. So listen, guy, just like Myron said, if you're getting your feet wet or if you're sort of in a relationship spin cycle where, you know, you're wondering why all of your relationships, you know, long term or not, end the same, Womanese will give you those answers for sure.
Yeah, and again, guys, it's there. 48 hours, $100 off. Trying to make it more affordable for you guys. If you don't have the money for it, no problem. Take the free information, use it, watch the show back. The intention here is to educate you guys. If you have extra coin, you want to invest, fucking do it. Because I truly do believe getting rid of bad girls is more important than finding a good girl. I'll say that again. I think getting rid of bad girls and getting rid of the tapeworm is more important than actually finding a good girl. Because if you avoid the bad girls, that keeps you alive long enough so that you can find the good ones. So half the game is filtering out the women that are going to destroy you.
And there's more bad out there than good. Just keeping it real with you guys. I'm out there. And as well, guys, numbers lie? No. But women lie, men lie. Womanese does not lie.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So get in there, guys. We'll be back with After Hours probably. Last chats? Okay.
Cool.
I think we're going to do After Hours hopefully by.
Chris is here.
Start
actually.
by 11. Chris is already here.
Yeah,
Chris.
he's here.
What? Give us a time. What do you think?
That's fine. 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock start time? All right.
Solid.
What do we got here? Do Anus and Reach react to the videos where you call them out for providing zero value? Of course they don't, bro.
Nope.
Of course they don't.
Why would they?
Why would they, bro?
They look crazy.
Uncle Luke 1980, appreciate that. Do Anus? No, got that one. Eskander Magno says that when I write in my profile on Bumble, I want a wife to start a family. I get no matches. We have to improve wives now. Import wives now. What the fuck? Yeah, bro. You're not gonna find your wife on a dating app, bro. Sorry. Like, this is not gonna happen.
Don't lead with that, though.
Yeah, don't lead with that. That's an L. That's like a woman saying, "Hey, I'm just looking to get some fun time right now." Like, no one's gonna take her seriously for wifing. Just like a woman, like you saying, "I'm looking for a wife." That no one's gonna take you. A woman's not gonna take you seriously as a counterpart.
Bro, you need Womanese because you should be doing your thing. She should be asking you to be with.
A man that's willing to give away his commitment for nothing is no different than a woman that's willing to give her sex away for nothing, bro. You're looked at as like a commitment slut.
Yeah,
there you go.
Like,
ooh, wow, real shit.
Yeah, bro. So like, guys, you gotta understand that there are problematic things that you would say that will significantly reduce your value in the sexual marketplace. Anything else?
That's it.
Cool. All right, guys. Timestamps will be up. Go. Also, guys, I just completed a pretty good breakdown. While you guys wait for this episode that we do of Woman with Chris and the girls, I did a pretty good breakdown of Dean Withers debating Emily Saves America. If you guys are into politics, yeah, you guys just see this is why you don't send a woman to do a man's job. I was actually very angry watching it because you know she's a conservative and she made herself look like a fucking idiot against a raging lefty liberal. But yeah, go ahead and check it out. Timestamps are there. It's on Myron Gaines Access, my other YouTube channel where I do more political commentary. So go check that out, and we'll be back at about 11 o'clock with the lovely ladies and Chris. Guys, go check out Donovan. Go subscribe to him on YouTube and on Rumble. He's been shadow banned everywhere.
Yes.
Right.
There would be
Donovan
no Fresh Fit without Donovan Sharpe, so I want to leave you guys with that. Go check him out on YouTube. Go check him out on Rumble. He has his channels there. Great content. And he goes live every day, right? What time do you go live?
That's right. So I go live. I'm actually going live every day. So every weekday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, go check him out, man. Go check him out. One of the OG Red Pill guys. And again, I want to make it clear when we talk about Red Pill, we're talking about the truth when it comes to intersexual dynamics. That's all it means. These other idiots want to bastardize the definition. It's simply the truth when it comes to men and women. We'll catch you guys back here in about 45 minutes with some girls. Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.